Ugh, corporate team building retreats. You know the ones. That, magical time where the mandatory fun feels, well, maybe a bit like trauma bonding.
Yeah, or those trust exercises.
Mm.
Sometimes they feel a little close to, I don't know, HR-approved hazing, maybe.
Totally. And why does hearing, let's share our feelings, just make you want to, like, run for the hills sometimes?
Triggers something, doesn't it? That internal alarm.
Right. And how can you actually get through those icebreakers without sharing your deepest, darkest secrets with Kevin from accounting?
Hey, you barely know, yeah. And the trust fall. What are we really thinking when we're falling backwards?
Please don't drop me. Please don't drop me.
Pretty much. These are
Yeah.
the unspoken stuff floating around at these events. The intention's usually good, connection.
But the reality can feel, yeah, less than connecting.
Definitely.
Exactly. So think of this deep dive as your field guide, your survival manual for this weird corporate world.
We've looked into it, gathered some intel.
Yeah, we've got actionable strategies for you and maybe a bit of insight into what's actually going on underneath it all. Our mission today, help you engage with these things.
Right, engage with a bit more understanding. Think of it like doing reconnaissance, knowing the terrain.
Knowing the terrain helps make it less jarring.
Exactly. Less jarring. Less stressful, hopefully.
Okay, let's unpack it. We're starting with something we're calling the retreat survival hierarchy. 3 levels.
Okay, 3 levels of engagement, or maybe disengagement.
Strategic disengagement, perhaps.
Yeah.
Level 1, polite disassociation.
The foundation. This is your basic survival tool,
It really is. It's about being there, physically.
but mentally. Maybe on a beach somewhere.
Precisely. The key is that, like, blank stare, but timed perfectly with an occasional nod, like you're really absorbing it.
Mm-hmm. Thoughtful nodding is crucial.
Super useful for those one-word feeling shares. Someone says synergy, and you just nod, sagely.
It lets you tick the participation box without actually, investing anything real or opening yourself up to follow-up questions.
God forbid.
It's essential for those rapid-fire rounds. And it kind of highlights the issue, doesn't it? If the activity feels forced or pointless.
Then checking out is just natural. It's self-preservation.
Exactly. Research even shows forced stuff without real motivation can actually hurt team cohesion, not help it.
Makes sense. Okay, moving up the hierarchy. Level 2, strategic bathroom breaks.
Oh, the sanctuary.
Oh, like
Classic for a reason.
time-tested and so easy to pull off.
Everyone understands biological needs.
The excuse is built in, oh, wow, all this coffee or water or whatever.
And suddenly you need to step away.
And we're not talking a quick trip. This is like a solid 30-minute mission, perfect for catching up on Reddit or important emails you just remembered.
Of course, very important emails.
And level 2 is your absolute best friend during role-playing. Oh, God, the role-play.
While everyone else is awkwardly pretending to be an unhappy customer, you're having a moment of peace. Recharging.
The beauty is its plausibility. Nobody questions it.
Nope. And the fact that it's so common tells you something about how people value some of these planned activities, doesn't
It
it?
really does. Okay, top tier, level 3. Full witness protection mode.
Right. This is for the truly dedicated avoider. Maximum effort, low profile.
This requires commitment. You need to actively try to blend into the beige walls.
It's all about reducing any chance for interaction.
The uniform, generic, neutral, think shades of gray, beige, maybe navy if you're feeling bold,
Nothing memorable.
and master the art of avoiding eye contact. It's crucial. Your go-to phrase for everything.
Interesting point.
Exactly. Delivered thoughtfully, non-committally. Works every time.
It shuts down further conversation quite effectively.
This level is especially good for, like, remote retreats. You know, the ones where the Wi-Fi is mysteriously terrible in your
Like-
specific location?
Convenient. The goal is just to become background noise. Camouflage.
Okay, so those are the levels. But sometimes you need more. Let's talk advanced avoidance tactics.
The next level maneuvers for when the basics aren't cutting it.
First up, the sudden work emergency lie.
A corporate classic. So versatile.
The script is simple, elegant. Ugh, sorry, the client just blew up my phone. I have to take this.
And then a swift, concerned-looking exit.
Straight to your room, where, let's be honest, Netflix is probably the only emergency.
But who's going to question a client issue? It sounds legitimate. Urgent, even.
It gives you cover without making you look like you just don't care about, synergy.
Precisely. Okay, what's next?
The overenthusiastic note-taker distraction. This one's clever. I like this one.
Yes, the art of appearing deeply engaged.
Totally. You're scribbling furiously in your notebook, head down, maybe muttering things like key takeaway or actionable insight.
Looking far too busy absorbing wisdom to possibly join the human knot exercise.
Exactly. It creates this little bubble around you. It says, do not disturb deep thoughts happening, even if it's just like detailed drawings of staplers.
Effective visual barrier. Okay, another tactic.
The fake injury exit. This one takes some acting chops.
A bit more theatrical, yes, but high potential reward.
You need commitment. The line is something like, oh, ow, insert a plausible joint. My knee just completely gave out.
Followed by a sudden, persistent limp.
Exactly. Gets you out of anything physical. Trust falls, obstacle courses, mandatory yoga. Plus, you might get some sympathy. Bonus.
Consistency is key, though. You have to remember which knee it was.
Good point. Don't switch legs halfway through the retreat. Okay, and a pro tip we picked up. This is gold.
All right, let's hear it.
If you absolutely have to share something, like you're cornered, just say, I'm really just here to listen and learn from everyone.
Simple, respectful.
Apparently, it makes you seem wise and humble. Instant, maybe slightly ironic group hero status.
That's surprisingly effective. Low risk, low effort, projects engagement without revealing a thing. Clever.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly. Warning signs. Corporate retreat red flags. Things you hear that should make you immediately raise your guard.
The verbal cues that often signal impending awkwardness. Or worse.
Top of the list. This is a safe space.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. According to our sources, that's often the prelude to some serious pressure to get emotional. Maybe even cry.
It's meant to sound comforting, but in that context, it often feels performative, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sets up an expectation.
Totally. Why do you think that phrase backfires so often in a work setting?
Well, maybe because genuine safety takes time and real trust, not just declaring it exists for the next hour. It can feel like a shortcut to intimacy that hasn't been earned.
Yeah, forced vulnerability. Which leads to red flag number 2. Let's get vulnerable.
Okay, brace yourself.
This one pretty much guarantees someone's about to ask you to share childhood trauma before the morning coffee break.
It's that attempt to fast-track connection in a really artificial way. Often the retreat design itself is the problem, focusing on these surface-level things instead of what the team actually needs.
Good point. And the final red flag, no hierarchy here.
Right, as if.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the CEO is definitely still the CEO and is probably judging your lack of enthusiasm for the company chant.
Those power dynamics don't just vanish because you're all wearing matching t-shirts, do they?
Not usually, no. Okay, we also got some amazing listener stories and hacks. Real intel from the trenches.
Oh, these are often the best.
Yeah.
Practical wisdom.
We heard about gluten-free Greg. Apparently, he faked a severe gluten allergy just to get out of a blindfolded obstacle course.
No way. Did it work?
It worked, but now everyone calls him gluten-free Greg forever. So, use with caution.
Huh. Resourceful, but with lasting consequences. That's brilliant.
Then there's the genius who wore a fake wedding ring just to dodge networking bingo.
Networking bingo. Oh, dear.
Yeah. The logic was nobody really tries to aggressively network with married people.
That's actually quite smart. A subtle way to set a boundary in those forced mingling situations. Very clever.
Right. Okay, finally, we have a challenge for you listeners. If you're heading to a retreat, consider yourself deputized. You are now a retreat spy.
Time to put this knowledge into practice. Field work.
Mission 1. Spot at least one truly cringeworthy icebreaker. Like the classic, share your most embarrassing moment. Note it down. Analyze the cringe.
Observation is key. Understand the mechanics of awkwardness.
Mission 2. Deploy the bathroom break escape. You need to time it perfectly, right at peak awkwardness. Log your escape duration. Bonus points for length.
Precision timing for maximum effect, minimum suspicion. Good luck.
And mission 3. Invent a fake fun fact about yourself, but be careful. Our example, I once met Dolly Parton at a Waffle House. Apparently backfired.
No, how so?
Led to way too many follow-up questions. Something about a spirit animal being a loyal stapler, it got weird.
Okay, so maybe keep the fake fact simple and hard to verify.
Definitely. Keep it plausible but vague. Okay, so wrapping this up.
The key takeaway.
Go forth and, bond. Or at the very least, use these strategies to survive with your sanity intact until the open bar.
A little prep, a few strategic moves. It can make the whole thing way more tolerable. Maybe even, dare I say, slightly amusing if you approach it right.
You got this. Okay, next time on the deep dive, we're tackling how to pretend you know what stakeholders are talking about.
Ooh, Another crucial survival skill for the modern workplace. That'll be a good one.
You won't want to miss it. And finally, a thought for you to chew on. Think back to your most memorable retreat. Good memorable, bad memorable, whatever.
We all have one.
Which of these strategies might you have used back then? Or which ones are you maybe earmarking for the future?
Something to consider. Until our next deep dive.